Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every day, and I will continue to ask you to do it every day because it's important, because we are building a tribe. We are building a mighty community over here. And let me tell you, and I am going to be boastful for a minute. I really feel it is the best community on these internet streets. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Go in those comments. Talk to somebody. I mean, chit chat with somebody. Kiki with somebody. And I promise you, you will want to be a part of it. And when you decide to be a part of it, you know what you need to do? Go down in these settings. Look around. Find that subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And I pop in quite often. I do. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. It wins all the time, y'all. But y'all be hanging in there with me. Y'all do. Y'all be giving me those thumbs ups. And I appreciate it. So thank you. Help me fight this beast. Also, I just want to say thank you to the people who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Let me tell you, it is much appreciated. I'm telling you, it helps so much with the channel. And I just want to say thank you, because I do it. I watch commercials on other creators' videos because I know how it feels. I do. And I'm always up to support. I am. So thank you for supporting the channel that way. Also, right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative for your support. Also, if you want to do a one-time donation, our super thanks button is right over there, and all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some shout outs, and I'm telling you, some of my favorite people, like Jennifer Clark. Jennifer, thank you for the super thanks. Just thank you for being a part of this community. You make it so much better just being here. And you are so supportive of the channel. I could not ask for more. You're just everything. So thank you for coming through. And thank you for the super thanks. Also, Ella Gully. Ella has become a ride or die. Ella be coming through all the time with the support. And it is greatly appreciated, Ella. You are everything, girl. You are, and I appreciate you. So thank you for the super thanks. Also, Tiger Mommy. What can I say about Tiger Mommy? She's everything. She's everything of everything. She is. And she is such a huge part of our community. And I just want to say thank you, Tiger Mommy, for the support. Thank you for being a ride or die and supporting the channel no matter what. It means everything. And all I can say is thank you for the super thanks. And thank you for being here. Woo, I know I'm lucky. I do to have all of y'all. Y'all are just everything. All right, y'all. Oh, yeah, I want to make an announcement. I am going to start a new segment, too. Like, y'all know I have the read, and then I have my pop-ups. But now I'm going to start a new one called The Word on the Curb. It's going to be strictly about gossip. Not anything that I know is true or anything like that. Just something that I have heard on the curb. Now, it's not going to be every day. Y'all know I don't come to y'all with what's the word on the curb every day. But sometimes it be some goodies out there. And you know, you don't want to incorporate that into the read. I always like to say if it's the word on the curb, it's something that I hadn't saw, or I don't know for sure, or it's something that the squatties are talking about and it's not really been validated or anything like that. That is what word on the curb is. But we still want to talk about it. We still want to chit chat about it. We still want to kiki about it. So yeah, so y'all look out for the word on the curb. I am presently putting together the intro to word on the curb, and we're going to start doing that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun because y'all know I love a lot of messiness and gossip. And when it's about that family, I love it even more. I do. So yeah, so keep a heads up for word on the curb. Yes. And like I said, I know I haven't been doing much with the reading club. Y'all, I'm still not quite settled. I have a townhouse that I am supposed to go look at. It was supposed to be ready in 2 weeks. We're going to see how it goes. Y'all, I'm picky. I am. My daughter said I am really, really picky. But I like to be happy where I'm at. And I'm a Libra, y'all. Y'all know I have to weigh everything because I have to be satisfied with what I choose. So when I get settled, I am going to do more with the reading club. We're going to do some lives, and it'll be my first lives. It will be. So I hope y'all have some grace with me now, because I'm going to start out doing lives with my reading club, and then I'll expand to doing lives with everybody, because y'all, I don't know how I would do with a live, but we gonna try it. We are. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm working on a lot of stuff. We're gonna do a whole lot more recipes for the reading club and whatnot. And we might, like I said, when I get settled, we might do a live, as we cook and talk and chit chat and gossip. Y'all know. I'll bring some of the words on the curb and we'll talk about it as I cook. But like I said, just be patient with me, be patient with me. And once I get fully settled and satisfied, because satisfied is important to me, we're going to do a lot. We are. We're going to do some lives. We're going to do some members only lives. We're going to do it all. I promise. All right, y'all. Y'all know it's time for the read. And y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets. And let me tell you, that is where I have been most of the day. Now, I didn't go to Spoutable. I always say Spoutable. I did not go to Spoutable, and I did not go to Blue Sky. I did not go to Blue Sky either. I was over to TikTok. TikTok just drained a lot of my time today. I get over there, and y'all know it is something going on TikTok. It ain't got nothing to do with Harry and Meghan or any of those folks across the pond. It has everything to do with these Chinese vendors just absolutely coming out telling the truth about all these luxury brands and how much they cost. Y'all, I'm telling you, this would be one of the things that we would talk about in a live, because we would get messy in there. Yes, it is going on over TikTok. It's going down over there, and they are giving you just websites and everything where you can buy all this stuff cheap. If y'all want me to put one or two of these websites where you can get these cheap handbags and stuff on the community page, y'all hit me up in the comments, because y'all know your girl got all of them. Yes, that's what I was doing over on TikTok, trying to find me a vendor to get me a designer handbag. I will be doing that. So yeah, so that ate up a lot of my time, but then I made my way over to Instagram, seeing what the Instagram squatties are talking about. Did I peep over there where Meghan was? I don't think I even I didn't even take the time to see what Meghan was doing. I don't think she did anything, but we do know she has a new event coming up, and we're going to talk about that. And of course, we're going to talk about her podcast that dropped yesterday. But since I didn't do a read last night, so we're going to talk about it today. But I don't think she dropped anything on her webpage today. I don't think she did. So I might have to go over there and peep and see if she did, but I don't think she did. All right, y'all, we have a lot, so let's get going. I'm telling you, and we're going to start with this one right here. And yes, 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 our girl is coming outside. She is. She is going to be the keynote speaker at the Times 100. Yes, I cannot wait. You know, when I saw this, and I know this is going to sound strange, but I thought about a Timex watch. To me, that is Meghan's personality. Now, if you're an old school person, you know what a Timex watch is. And put it in the comments if you know what a Timex watch, if it was in your time. Because when I was coming up, getting a Timex watch for Christmas, that was a big deal. And let me tell you one thing about Timex, they were dependable. And y'all know what the slogan was: it takes a licking and it keeps on ticking. Tell me that is not our Duchess. Tell me that's not Meghan. Meghan takes a licking, but she keeps on ticking. She keeps on marching forward, heads up, looking into the future, never being distracted by the nonsense that they are trying to throw on her. Yes, I love it. I love it. And she will not be distracted this time, and she will not be disappointed. I love that she keeps on marching forward. She never lets up. When I said let up, I mean she keeps that pressure on the necks of their haters, of the derangers, of the toadies, of the ugly old hags, and especially those flying monkeys across the pond. She never lets the pressure up. She just, when she ran out there and wrote 2025 in that sand, she meant all of that with her full chest. She said, wait, I got some for all of y'all. And Meghan has not let up 1 minute. And I love it, y'all. I am thrilled. I love seeing Meghan show them what determination is, what resilience is, what a real modern princess look like. Because that mannequin that they have over there, that's a joke. Because every time Meghan shows up, she shows her up for the mediocre that she is, and the rest of those family, that family over there, Harry and Meghan shows them up. That's the reason why they are so hated. I mean, can you imagine that family being stripped of their money and their positions if they could do what Meghan's done? Meghan has earned everything. Everything that she has earned it. And yet and still, who over there you think, if they were stripped of their privilege and their money, their position, would be able to make it like Harry and Meghan has made it? Who? Who? Even if they kept the titles, who would be able to make it? I'm just saying. Because if I had to choose one, I probably would choose maybe Sophie, because at least Sophie has been out in the real world. She has had a business. Now, she ran it completely into the ground, and they had to put a headstone on it. It was just that dead when she came, when her and Edward came out of it. But at least she had done that. And she's the only one over there that even looks like they know what they're doing. So I would choose her, because the rest of them over there, like William and Charles, they peaked when they came out of the birth canal. And then the horse and the mannequin, kitty cat, they have never had a legitimate job, and neither one of them can make a decent speech. Because we talk about kitty cat all the time, but have you ever heard Camilla try to give a speech? It is even worse than kitty cat. I kid you not. These women are not well-rounded women, because we all know if without the men in their lives that they have, they would fade completely to black, because they only have one skill, and that is the horizontal mambo. Now, Kate might be able to do something with that skill today, but Camilla, don't nobody want a 76-year-old woman doing the horizontal mambo now, nobody. But we all know if it was back when she was like in her 20s and 30s and maybe even her 40s, because for what we know, she had the skills back then, because it parlayed her into the top job. So yeah, she could have made it back then, but now not so much. But I digress, y'all. Let's go on and see what this squatty says. It says, mark your calendars, darling. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is set to grace the Time 100 Summit on the 23rd of April with a landmark address, joining the illuminous cohorts of global luminaries. Yes, heavy hitters. That's what luminaries are. People who have done something with their lives, you know, not the ones who absolutely just slipped out of the birth canal, or the ones who did the horizontal mambo to get where they're at. People who has actually created something. People who are actually well-rounded and very, very capable. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty reposted the announcement that Meghan is going to be at the Times 100 Summit. Y'all, I cannot say it without smiling, because I love, like I said, I just love seeing Meghan and Harry win, because there's so many dark forces against them. I just love seeing them win. And this particular squatty said this: toxic British press, while y'all continue hating from the outside of the club, the world is moving on. Where is the lie? We have moved on. They still rehashing and replaying the same old nonsense that they did 5 years ago, 8 years ago. It's the same old nonsense. They refuse to move on. Now people are just tired of it. They see it and they recognize it for what it is. I'm telling you, I have an article coming up from Tom Sykes, and it's the same old nonsense from William. I said maybe 2, 3 podcasts back, when Harry and Meghan was just really knocking it out of the park, and especially when Harry went to Ukraine, and it was so well received, so well covered. I mean, and it was so well executed. I'm telling you, I don't know if you watched it. Harry had like a video just that chronicled everything that he was doing, and it was amazing. And I knew after that we were going to hear from William. All of his hatred was going to churn up, and he was going to start crying his salty tears and take them over there to Tom Sykes. And I said this in a podcast. Get ready for I Hate My Brother article. It's coming. And guess what? It has arrived. And so we're going to talk about it a little later. But I knew it was coming. Every time Harry and Meghan continues to put those points on the board, continues to show them up for the mediocres that they are and continue to set the pace in order for them to have to copy them, because that's what they do. They copy them. And they're not the only royals that copy them either. We're going to talk about that a little later as well. But yes, absolutely. And they hate them for it. Isn't that twisted? It is so twisted. You hate the people that you love to copy. They literally want to be Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan is so freaking powerful that, well, especially Meghan. Y'all know what I say about Meghan. She went over there to that 1,000-year-old institution and shook it. I mean, shook it to the point where Henry VIII woke up and said, "What's going on?" Y'all, I'm getting silly. But yes, she shook it. And I love it. I love it. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatter said this: Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex and founder of As Ever, will be a speaker at the 5th annual Times 100 Summit. Features leaders from global time community to spotlight solutions and encourage action towards a better world. Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. While somebody walking through the woods trying to sell us on the fact that she done had some cancer. I'm just saying, it is really, really pitiful over there. And that's why they so mad. Because Meghan and Harry just keeps on doing the damn thing. They do. And also I want to mention this as well. Serena is one of the top 100 people, influencers. Yes, Serena Williams. Yes. Now that's another go-getter right there. Serena absolutely be out here doing the damn thing. Y'all know I think she owns a basketball team. She's a part owner in a basketball team. And is it basketball or soccer? I can't remember. In Canada. And she has her own investment company. Yes, she does, where she does investments. Yes, Serena is no slouch, as my mother used to say. Serena is the real deal. And why wouldn't she be? That's why her and Meghan are friends. I love it. Auntie Serena, yes. All right, y'all, I want to put this up and just go over the fact that Meghan's podcast did drop, her new one dropped yesterday. I hope you have watched it. I still hadn't got a chance to watch it, y'all. I have been so busy. Just life be lifing. And this particular squatter said this. I'm going to put it up. It says, another wonderful episode. I can really relate to a few topics discussed. Mom work balance. Yes, being a mother. How hard it is to balance that with being an entrepreneur. I'm sure it is. It was hard for me to work and raise children. I know it was. So I can imagine. But y'all, they got the coins, so they can have help. I'm just saying, my mama had to help me. But I digress. And yes, and finding that work balance. Now, that's for everybody. That's something I need to work on myself. Yes, I love it. All right, y'all, we're going to put this one up. And it says, oh my goodness, I just wrapped up listening to The Long Game with Rizma Saljani, I hope I'm pronouncing her name. Rizma Saljani of Confessions of a Female Founder with Meghan. It was absolutely fantastic. I was so moved that I had to listen to it again right away. Can they possibly get any better than this? You might want to have some tissues on hand for this one. So, ooh, it sounds so good. Put it in the comments if y'all already has listened to it. If you don't already have a subscription to Spotify, serve them up dust, please. But if you already have a subscription to Spotify, I understand. But if you don't, go to Lemonada, go to Apple, serve Spotify up dust, because we will never forgive and we definitely will never forget. But yes, they say it is so good. So if you listen to it already, please, please, please hit me up in the comments and let me know what you thought. Because this particular squatty said, get the tissues. I cannot wait, y'all. I cannot wait. Don't give away anything in the comments, but just let me know if you have heard it. All right. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this one up. And when I saw this, it's a meme. So it absolutely made my day. Because y'all remember when I said that I wanted Meghan to be a billionaire, and everything that she touches, everything that she does, she needs to be getting a bite out of it. And this particular squatty said this: me every time an advert is played while listening to Confessions of a Female Founder. Yes, this particular meme says, them dollars are flowing for Meghan. Yes, I love that too, because I love it for her and I love it for those folks across the pond, because they cannot stand the fact, just the possibility, that Meghan will become a billionaire. I heard them talking about it. I think I heard it on I think it was on Good Morning Britain, and they was talking about she wants to be a billionaire. Yes, yes, yes. And we want her to be a billionaire. We do. Because, baby, it is all about the dollar bill for Meghan, because that means freedom. Freedom from them across the pond. Freedom to have security to keep crazy lunatics like that Carolyn Graham from getting anywhere near you. Yes, we want her to be a billionaire, because it will cement the future of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. We'll know that everything's gonna be okay for them. Yes. And also for Meghan and Harry, to show them that they didn't need them. Never did. Never did. And if anybody needs anybody, it's them needing Harry and Meghan. And they were just too jealous and envious and spiteful to understand that they did. I just love it. All I can say is, yes, come on, Meghan. Come on with the dollar bills. And like this particular squatty, go get that money, girl. Yes, go get your money, Meghan. Get your money. I love it. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And Prince Harry is out here showing that he is nothing like Charles, and he is nothing like William, and he is nothing like anybody in that family except his mother. Now, he is 100% Spencer and very little Windsor. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty, I'm putting it up. It says, I am so happy for my wife and fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do. Prince Harry. Yes, a real husband, a husband that to be valued, is a husband that supports his wife, that is not in competition with his wife, who is not threatened by his wife's success. Yes, And he knows that they're in this thing together, because when she's winning, he's also winning. Harry sees that. Harry is not threatened by a wife who has ambition. He is not threatened by a wife who has success. He's not threatened by any of that. Like I said, because he knows they're in it together. But we all know that that family over there, that is the reason why they have married who they married, because they don't want anybody competing with them. How sick is that? It's so sick when you are married to or in a relationship with someone who feels like you're their adversary, that you are their foe. It is crazy to me. How relationships like that continue, I don't know. It has to be like a partnership at this point over there. Because how can you be okay with your husband feeling like you're his adversary? It's crazy. You're in this thing together. You riding with me. Where I go, you go. And what I have, you have. I'm just saying, it is crazy. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And I found this on Feminegro. And it is attached to an article. Now, I didn't read the article, but I love the post. So that is the reason why I am talking about the post and not the article. And I'm going to put it up, and it says this: while some royal husbands resent the attention and success their wives receive, Prince Harry said it plain: I'm incredibly proud of my wife. Support isn't weakness, it's power. Where is the lie? Stronger together. Where's the lie? And y'all know when I knew Harry was the real one, is when Meghan gave her first speech as a royal. When she was there, they had that big tent and the women of the Hub Kitchen was there. And Meghan got up there and did a speech. And Doria was there and Harry was there. And Harry was looking at her so adoringly. I mean, you could see the pride just coming through his every pore in him. Harry is a real one. He really is. And I'll never forget that. If I can find the picture, I'm going to put it up here. But yes, that was such a good day. It was. And Harry showed then that he never had a problem about centering his wife, because he is not an insecure biatch. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And Harry is on the cover of People magazine. And in it, he's talking about a lot of things. He's talking about his feelings about the hearing, about his security for him and his family, and a lot of his disappointment. But also in this article, from what I hear from Squatties, because I have to admit that I have not read it, they're saying a little side eye is necessary, because it seems that the person who wrote this article is taking a little liberty with Harry's feelings, meaning that he is quoting Harry, but he's talking about perhaps this and perhaps that as well, and not strictly to what Harry said. Because evidently in this article, he is saying perhaps Harry would want to have a relationship with the father, which is King Charles III. And I don't see that. I don't. I saw where a lot of Squatties kind of commented on this. And I think I got one comment, and I'm going to read it after this. saying, you know, kind of feeding into the fact that Harry would want a relationship with Charles, and that, you know, everything could be all forgiven. And I don't know, because I keep going back to what Harry said when he came out of the courtroom. And he said that a lot could be forgiven in 2016 and beyond. But one thing that couldn't be forgiven is them pulling the security away from him and his family and whatever else he heard in the courtroom that these people had done to put the life of himself and his family, especially his young baby son at the time, in jeopardy. He said that would not be one thing that he could forgive. So I don't see where you get this reconciliation out of that when someone is clearly saying that this person has done something that is unforgivable. I'm just saying. So I will kind of hold back on my opinion if Harry wants a relationship with Charles or not until I hear directly from Harry's mouth, like he just said when he came out of court. Now, they contribute those quotes to him, but this whole thing about him wanting a relationship with his father is kind of speculations from the author of this article. My understanding from other squatties now, like I said, I have not read the article, but I tend to say, yeah, if that's what it is saying in the article, that Harry wants a relationship with Charles, I would probably say, we just heard from Harry, and Harry said this was a non-starter for him. This was a deal breaker for him, what he heard in that courtroom. He said it was unforgivable. And when people are using that kind of verbiage, I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, time will tell. But we all know that we're getting all the nonsense from across the pond saying that Harry's calls are going unanswered. Harry is writing letters, they're not being returned. And all I say to that is, I don't believe that. I don't. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, but I don't believe it. Because what is he calling him and writing him for? What does he want from him? Because I think the people that are involved has pretty much made up their mind that this is a non-starter when it comes to reviving the relationship between the brothers and also the parent, which is Charles, and Harry. So if I was Harry, I would go on and live my life and be thankful that that toxicity is out of it. Meghan is a perfect example on how you do that. You absolutely cut them off and keep it moving. Because when someone has clearly made it very, very clear to you that your life is not a deal breaker, that your life is not an impediment to what they want, they're willing to risk you. And when that is the case, you need to alleviate yourself from those kind of people. Those are scorpion. Those are lizard people. Cold-blooded. That's all I'm saying. So I hope Harry doesn't fall into the trap of trying to fix the unfixable. I'm just saying. Charles has made his stance very clear that he does not care about the life of his son and his son's wife or his grandchild. He made that perfectly clear. I don't see how he can make it any clearer, to be honest. And now he's not taking calls or, or answering letters. Like I said, I don't believe that anyway, because that's crazy to me. If Harry continues to pursue a relationship with someone who absolutely did not care if he was dead, his wife was dead, or his baby infant son was dead, and he said it was a deal breaker, Harry need to go back to the Harry's therapy is not done. That's all I can say. But I am not even going to speak that or put it out in the universe, because I don't know if this is true. Like I said, from what I understand from the squatties that I have read, who have read this article, it says it's a lot of speculation it's a lot of speculation from the author of the article. And we all know that they have an invested reason why they need to keep this narrative going about this rift between Charles and William and Harry. We all know why. And it's financial. This makes money. And when Harry said he shut it down and they're going about their business, and Harry and Meghan is going about their business, well, it's no story there. It's nothing to write about or make money about. So this riff is actually more about money. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty commented on the fact that Harry still wants to fix the relationship with his dad. And that's what this author of this article is speculating about. That's the best way I know how to put it. And this particular squatty said this: it can take a lifetime of work to accept that a cold, abusive parent isn't going to change. It don't take me a long time, but I am not Harry and Harry is not me. But I hope it doesn't take a lifetime, because clearly these people are not going to change. And it goes on to say there's always a tiny bit of hope that they will show a little regret at the way they have treated you. 5 years is a very short period of time in the scheme of things. Tell me what y'all think. But like I said, it's all speculation, because to my knowledge and what the squatters is saying, that particular quote is not contributed to Harry. It's speculation. So that's why I said I am going to reserve my opinion on it, because until Harry, to those words come out of his mouth, because if we go back and really analyze the words that came out of his mouth when he came out of that courtroom, I don't see him making the same statement that this particular author is insinuating he might feel. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up, and this was in the mail. It looks like that hothead over there, who is the heir to the throne, the one that is always incandescent with rage, is incandescent again, according to the Fail. And I'm going to put it up, and it says, you see, this particular squatty posted this article from the Fail, and the article says, why Prince Harry surprised Ukraine war zone trip frustrated Prince William and left him fuming at palace officials. What is wrong with this crazy man? Why would he be fuming about Harry? Well, it's because he always want to present himself as a veteran, as someone of the military, when we all know it's all cosplay for him, and it's all the money shot for him. And he was over there, I think he was in Poland. I can't remember what country he was in, but it was on the border. It was on the border of Russia, I think. And he was over there cosplaying, wasting those real soldiers' time, riding in a tank like a moron. And then when Harry went, Harry was not dressed up as a soldier. He was not cosplaying, because if he had on fatigues, it was because he is an actual veteran. But I digress. He had on regular clothes, and he went over there at the invitation of the Superhuman Center, this rehabilitation center that had came to the Invictus Games in Canada. Legitimate reason, no made up cosplay type situation. Real life stuff. It was fabulous, to say the least. I watched the video. It's a video of Harry's visit, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Harry is awesome because he's genuine. He's not looking for the money shot. He's looking for the solution to the problem. And that's the difference between him and William. And that is the reason why William always comes off fake and phony, because he don't have a genuine heart. All he wants is to be presented as something. Look at how he had his people to get in the news cycles to call him a statesman, a global statesman. He is so performative, and it shows. It really, really shows. I'm just saying. But this particular squatty said this. I'm going to put it up. It says, so William threw a tantrum because Harry visited Ukraine while he hasn't. And he is now whining that his security blocked him. He's just reflecting because while Charles and Harry was serving, he was at a football game. Simple truth, William needs to be told how to be king. Harry already is. Where is the lie? I'm just saying. Now, I'm going to put this up, and this particular squatty said this. William has had ample opportunity to travel to Ukraine. Where is the lie? When he had the opportunity to go over there, the Ukrainian embassy, and him and Kitty Cat went over there and said all they can do is give you a wave and a smile and a wave here and there. He meant that. That's all he could do. And now he wants to pretend like he really wanted to go to Ukraine. And my point is this. For what? What would he be going over there for? Harry went over there because he was invited, because it had something to do with the Invictus Games. What would he be going over there for? Just a question. To ride around in a tank, or, cosplay, to pretend like he's some kind of diplomat, when in actuality he's just a figurehead? Is that what he would be going over there for? Just a question, because it has me puzzled. It does. I'm just saying. But it goes on to say he could also have met Zelensky when he visited Charles recently to show solidarity. But as usual, Lazy Air chose not to. Now, I don't know if he could have did that, because we all know they are lizard people. And Charles probably would not want to share the spotlight with William. So I'm just saying. And it says, seems nothing is even his fault. He just blames his staff and them taking off on yet another holiday. Yes, that's who they are. Willie and Kitty Cat, that's how they roll. Every 3 weeks they're on vacation. And we hadn't saw Kitty Cat, and I don't know when. We saw her in a video that she recorded 3 months ago. Yes, that video was recorded, I think they said 3 months ago. Yes, and all of a sudden we see it now during the time that Meghan's podcast dropped. this video dropped on a Tuesday and Megan's podcast dropped on a Tuesday. My whole thing is, who in the world do they think they're gonna stop listening to Megan's podcast to watch Kitty Cat walk through the woods? I mean, do they ever think these things through? It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But yes, another holiday and someone to blame. Isn't that the way it is? You know, way back in ancient time, in the monarchy, they literally had a whipping boy that when the king or the heir did something, they would whoop somebody else for it. Crazy. I'm saying, I don't know. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said this. How many times is the British media going to say William is fuming over Harry simply demonstrating what it means to be a natural statesman? Where is the lie? Harry is out here being Harry. Harry's mere existence make William angry and fume because Harry just be outdoing him at every turn. And Harry is his baby brother. He's the older brother. But I guess when you have never showed any love or leadership for your younger brother, for your baby brother, they just feel like they're their only child. And we all know Harry is the typical only child. William is not. The only child is usually very high achievers. And this particular squatter goes on to say, no one wants to say it, but William is getting paid millions in taxpayer money, and he's still too lazy to do what Harry does for free. Where is the lie? And Harry does it way better than him for free. For free. Because we all know William is performative. He has no passion. He's not driven with a purpose. He just wants the money shot. Let him show up. He just wants, stand here, go here, take the picture. He's ready to go home. We saw it in real time this past Christmas when he was talking about some guy from the homeless shelter called the Daily Fail, and they rushed down there to see him with an apron on. And they did this all within an hour and expected people to believe that nonsense. But he was only willing to give up an hour, even for the money shot, when it comes to helping those people, helping the homeless. You can't tell me that's a person who's driven by purpose. That's a man who's driven about faking it. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said, Ukraine is mine. You remember when William said that Africa was his? And this picture of William, really, I'm telling you, it looks like we're looking into his soul, right? Because he looks like he is a person who's very dark, but trying to present himself as something different. And that's what I really think of William, who he is, really down deep. He's a very dark character, but he wants to present himself because when he's on, you can tell he is faking it. And this particular squatter said he is such a tit. I disagree. I do not think William is a tit. I think William is a bitch. That's what I think. And moving on. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this is the article that I talked about earlier, the one that I predicted would come, because we all know anytime Harry and Meghan are really putting the points on the board, just being the successful bosses that they are, doing the damn thing, William cannot help himself. the demons inside, they start really, really becoming unbearable. He absolutely cannot take the success of his baby brother and his wife. I really think Meghan's success hurts him more. I really do, because he cannot stand it. And when that happens, he cries a cup of salty tears and take them over to Tom Sykes and write an article like this one right here. And that is a pattern. That's the reason why I knew it was coming. Not because I'm psychic or anything like that, but it is there for Stevie Wonder to see that William cannot stand his baby brother being successful, and he is going to lash out every time Harry really started putting those points on the board. And when he went to Ukraine, that right there was it. And when the vice president wrote Meghan a letter and called her Her Royal Highness, whoo, he couldn't stand it any longer. He had to take that cup of salty tears over to Tom Sykes, and we got this. All right, I'm going to put it up, and the title of the article is Meghan and Harry Could Be Stripped of HRH Titles by a Vengeful King William. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Tom Sykes. Tom Sykes is a toady. Tom Sykes is a sycophant. He is a minion. He is a bootlicker. And most of all, he is a notorious flying monkey. But even he finds this ridiculous, evidently, because if you see in the title, he calls William vengeful. And when you absolutely look at this article in its entirety, you can see that he has a point, because it's made up nonsense. It's made up nonsense. Just like when Harry and Meghan was still within that family, and they just made up reasons that they couldn't get along with Harry and Meghan, like Harry and Meghan not buying them an Easter gift. And Harry said he never bought anybody an Easter gift. What are you talking about? And then the whole lip gloss thing. And then let's not forget the big one, the baby brain comment. All made up nonsense to try to make themselves feel better and justify their envy and their jealousy of Harry and Meghan. They want a reason to hate them other than their inadequacies and their mediocrity. I'm just saying. So it is pretty much the same thing when you talk about why William would take away Harry and Meghan's HRH. Let's get into this particular article. And under there, you can see it says going, gone. It says Meghan's decision to publicize a note addressed to her as Your Royal Highness has been ignored by King Charles. A future King William might not be so chilled. Like, who cares, William? Who cares at this point? I have heard take away their titles, strip them of their title so much. If I was Harry, I would say, if you would leave me alone, take them already and shut the F up about it. That's what I would tell my brother, because I am tired of hearing about it. And it only shows the disconnect that this family has with the real world, because they really think that that is something. They really think Harry and Meghan will lose their popularity if they lose those titles. No, that's not going to happen. Harry and Meghan is loved by their fans because of who they are. They're loving. They actually care about people. They do. And when they get in there to help someone, they are in it because of their heart, not because they're being performative. We love Harry and Meghan because of how they have survived and how they love one another. That is the reason why we're Harry and Meghan fans. It doesn't have anything to do with a title. It don't. And Harry and Meghan would not lose a fan if all those titles was taken away. I'm willing to bet they would gain a huge amount of fans because of it. Because they would see what Harry and Meghan has been saying the whole time about William is absolutely true. That he is a vengeful and sadistic human being and someone who has done nothing but plot the demise and the destruction of his only brother, his baby brother. What kind of nonsense is that? And of course, it's going to attract more people to them, way more people to them, and they will not lose one person. So I don't know what these people are talking about, but I'm just saying. But this particular article says this: Prince William could formally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH title when he becomes king, sources have told the Daily Beast. We all know that that's his gay boy brigade. You know, the one consists of Jason Knopf and Christian Jones and all those other gay men in his office with their beards. I'm just saying. And we don't care. We don't care. Do it. It goes on to say Meghan appeared to reassert her and Harry's titles in an Instagram post this weekend, reposting a message from the Vice President of Ukraine addressing her as Your Royal Highness. You know what I think about that? I think it was the Vice President of Ukraine's way of showing Meghan some support. She probably have watched what they have done to Meghan, and she was showing her support. Because why would she insert that? Why would she not say Meghan? I'm just saying. That's my take on it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I really think it was the way that the vice president was saying, you know, I see you and I see what has happened to you and I support you. And I believe that is the reason they took it the way they did. Number one, they're jealous that the vice president of Ukraine wrote to Meghan. And number two, they are absolutely livid that she supports her by using the moniker HRH. Yes, that's my thoughts. Y'all tell me what y'all's thoughts are. And it goes on to say the couple agreed not to use their his and her Royal Highness HRH titles when they left the royal family, but they were never formally stripped. There you go. There you go. All of the Rangers, all of the toadies, all the ugly old hags who out here just just showing their natural, you know what's talking about Harry and Meghan is not royal. They are royal. And even if they strip all the titles away, they cannot strip the prince title away from Harry because Harry is a blood-born prince. He cannot be stripped of that. And Meghan will become Princess Henry of Wales because she is legally married to him. So stop it with they're not royalty. They'll always be royalty. And they'll always be a member of that family. Now they might not be a joyous and welcome member of the family, but who has a family that don't have family members that have fallouts and don't sit down and break bread with them? I know I have members like that. So what's your point? I'm just saying, but let's go on. It says William's hardline position contrasts with the relaxed attitude from King Charles, who one friend said would not want to open a new front in the civil war between the royals and Harry and Meghan, because they know Harry is sitting on 400 pages that he left out of spare, and they are worse than anything that was in spare. Charles is wise. William is a hothead and stupid because he let his emotion get the best of him, because he know he has done some rotten, terrible things. And I would not say anything if my brother was sitting on 400 pages. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say, for now, friends of William says he will respect his father's rank and follow his lead, but they say that when William becomes king, Harry and Meghan could be more harshly dealt with. What does that mean? Is that a threat? I'm just wondering. Is that some kind of threat? What you gonna do? Take away the titles? Take them away. But I know you better not bother one hair on their head, because if you think the squad can get activated online about little things, let a hair go missing off of Harry, Meghan, or those babies, and even Pula and Mama Mia. And you best not mess with the chickens. That's all we saying. If you want to take those titles, do that. Because Harry and Meghan fans are still going to be out here buying the tea, the honey, the crepe mix, and the, what is it? The cookie mix and the flour sprinkles. We are still going to be out here buying that raspberry spread. But baby, because we don't care about that nonsense. We don't. We really would like for you to go ahead on and do it, because maybe then you could find some peace and leave them alone, so we can go about doing what we want to do, is buying some raspberry spread and seeing with little Meghan, and just absolutely just enjoying what Meghan is doing, what Harry is doing. We want to be regular fans again. So well, not even again, because we have never had the ability to be regular fans. We had to fight with one hand and enjoy our faves with the other. Yes, we always have had to multitask here in the squad, but it would be nice. So we don't care. In other words, we don't care. And then it goes on to say, one friend of William told the Daily Beast, William has been given a great deal of influence on all areas of royal policy, but that cuts both ways, and he respects his father's rank. And it goes on to say, Markle's decision to publish a letter from Ukraine vice president on Instagram using the HRH greeting this weekend has reopened the controversy. Message from the vice president of Ukraine began, Your Royal Highness, I would like to express my sincere thanks for everything your family is doing for Ukraine. That right there also was a rub, the fact that she was thanking Meghan for all what the family had done. They mad. They mad on so many levels. That is the reason why he was walking around with that bottle in his hand over there in France with shorts on in the middle of a ski resort. It's just funny. It says a friend of the king told the Daily Beast this last weekend, it's outrageous every time you think that they can't make it worse. They make it worse. The deal with HRH was a way to stop them from cashing in and letting them walk away from with pride and dignity and trust. And now Markle is using the HRH on a website which seemed to exist to sell jam. That's crazy. Tell me that is not crazy. That is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. Meghan has used the HRH. The vice president used the HRH. Her website, well, not her website, but her Instagram account is for her life. She does, that's her account. She posts all different kinds of things on it. These people are crazy. This is my point. They said that at the Sandringham Summit with the Queen and Charles and William, that Harry and Meghan agreed not to use the HRH. It was an agreement. It wasn't written down and it wasn't legally binding or anything like that. They agreed that they would not use the HRH, and this was at the Sandringham Summit. Well, this is the way I look at it. Wasn't it at the Sandringham Summit that Charles agreed to continue security for Harry and Meghan for at least a year of the probational period until they made up their mind if they were coming back or not? Wasn't it also agreed to at the Sandringham Summit that Harry and Meghan's, well, Harry's allowance would continue for that year as well? Well, we all know everything at the Sandringham Summit did not hold water. And it seems to me that everybody that was at the Sandringham Summit has absolutely reneged on everything that they said that they were going to do except Harry and Meghan. They're trying to hold Harry and Meghan to something at a summit that they did not do themselves. 1 month after the Sandringham Summit, and they agreed to Harry and Meghan's security and Harry and Meghan's allowance, they took both of them away. But yet and still, they have reneged on everything they said they were going to do. But yet and still, it's Harry and Meghan is the problem. Stop it. Stop it, because you're out here looking stupid. Harry and Meghan has no obligation to you. They have held to it, probably, my guess, out of the respect for the late Queen Elizabeth. That is the reason. But we all know Andrew, he still uses his HRH, and he is a pedo. Well, I'll put it this way, an accused pedo, an alleged pedo, and he uses his. But Harry and Meghan, somehow Meghan posting a letter with somebody else calling her HRH is grounds for them to lose their HRH. Stop it. Stop it. And you have reneged on everything, but yet and still you want to continue to hold Harry and Meghan to it. You need to stop. You need to take a seat, because you absolutely have lost your favorite mind. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up really, really quick. It says Meghan is the blueprint. Where's the lie? At today's state banquet, Princess Amelia of the Netherlands is wearing the same sapphire dress as Meghan wore to Fiji, but in a different color. Yes, and let me put it up. Here's Meghan in the blue, looking gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, her and Harry just knocked it out of the park that day. And this is Princess Amelia. She has it in pink. Tell me, Meghan, they all pay attention. They do. And one more thing I want to put up. I want to say happy birthday to His Royal Highness Prince Cecil. Yes, he is 59 today. Happy birthday, Prince Cecil. And we are absolutely praying that Cinnabale lands back in you and Harry's safe hands. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.